Hello and welcome to another video from The Pivot. In these videos we look at useful technology for busy early learning centre managers. Today we'll be looking at Microsoft OneNote. Now it's fair to say that here at The Pivot we're not Windows people, but this program is one of our must-haves, is very underappreciated and possibly one of the best things to come out of Microsoft. We use it a lot simply because it's so useful and it works so well. Obviously it runs on all our Mac gear, iPhone, iPads and computers, but if you're not a Mac user it will run on your Android phones and tablets, and of course it'll run on your Windows machine. And the icing on the cake, it's free to download and use. In fact, if you're a Windows user you probably already have it installed on your computer. So why should you bother with OneNote? Well, imagine being able to record something you see in the street, or on your whiteboard, or in your staff meetings. And each time it gets stored in the cloud and immediately fed through to all your other devices that have OneNote on them. Pretty useful. But it's not just about copying things. You can use OneNote to create things too, anything from a to-do list to a regular newsletter. You can use it to capture, store and organize, and you can even share your information with others. Later in this video we'll go through examples of how you can put OneNote to work, but we'll start by getting a better idea of what OneNote actually is. Then we'll go on and see why you would want to use it. We'll look at those examples of what it can do, and then finally how you can get your hands on it. Note that in this video we won't go into step-by-step detail of how to operate OneNote. That would make this video too long, and our aim is, first and foremost, to show you how useful it is, not how to operate it. A quick search of YouTube will uncover plenty of videos on how to operate OneNote, and you'll also see a lot of how it works as we go through our examples. Okay, so what is OneNote? Well, Microsoft describe it as your very own digital notebook, which pretty neatly sums it up. Wikipedia goes further, noting free-form information gathering and multi-user collaboration, the ability to gather notes, drawings, screen clippings, which basically means anything on your computer screen including websites, and audio. That your notes can be shared with other OneNote users, and that OneNote automatically saves and synchronizes your notes. Okay, so that's what they tell us OneNote is, but why might we want to go to the trouble of installing it and learning how to use it? Well, firstly, it's free, and it's easy to get. It's probably already on your Windows computer, and at most you will have to set up a free Microsoft OneDrive account. The reason you need the OneDrive account is that everything is stored in the cloud and syncs across all your devices. OneDrive is Microsoft's cloud service. Something I really like about OneNote is that it has a free-form layout. You can drop your content anywhere and shuffle it around. You don't need to keep everything lined up and in sequence. OneNote has a logical layout hierarchy. At the top level, it collects your information into notebooks, which can be further broken down into section groups and sections, with each section containing its own pages and subpages. OneNote can store text and handwriting or drawings if you're on a tablet, sound, images, videos, links, pretty much anything you're likely to want to store on your computer. You can password protect a section, which protects the pages and subpages inside that section. You can share your content with others. You have amazing search capabilities right throughout your OneNote. And of course you can add content from any of your devices. Okay, now let's translate all this into practical things you might use OneNote for. There's no list of all the things OneNote can be used for. In fact, it's doubtful anyone knows all the possibilities. It's so flexible. And that's the beauty of it. You can use it in any way that suits you. But here are some possibilities. You can use it to clip a website, keep receipts and business cards, maybe plan a newsletter, record a meeting, or snap something while you're out and about. You can set up a to-do list, share and password protect your information, and you can search everything in OneNote. We'll begin by seeing how to save information from websites, or clipping as it's called. To do this, you do need to add the OneNote website clipper to your browser. Just Google it and you'll find it. Once you add it, you'll see it in the top bar of your browser alongside the address. Whenever you have a website that you want to keep all or some of, simply select the icon and you get options on what to choose. These vary slightly depending on what browser you're using. In this case, in Chrome, it asks if you want to choose the full page, a region of the page, just the article itself, which is usually the cleanest option, eliminating all the sidebars and ads, or a bookmark. You're then asked where you want to clip it to, and it's all done. After a few moments, you can view the information in OneNote on any of your devices. Now let's turn our attention to keeping track of receipts, business cards, recipes, and other documents, especially while being out and about. To take full advantage of this feature in OneNote, you need to install its companion app on your mobile devices, an app called Office Lens. Office Lens can be downloaded from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Think of Office Lens as special camera software for OneNote. It lets you collect images of business cards, documents and whiteboards, as well as normal photos too. In the case of business cards, documents and whiteboards, you can take a photo on an angle and Office Lens will automatically crop and correct the perspective, leaving you with a nice flat image of just the document, in this case a receipt. Again, after a few moments you can view the item in OneNote on any of your devices. Now let's look at how you might use OneNote to sketch out a newsletter, for example. There are probably better options for creating the final newsletter itself, but OneNote is perfect for thinking about it, collecting the ideas and resources, drafting it and laying it out, or indeed any project. Just go to a new section and enter your content. You can move everything around to suit and keep playing until you have a finished draft you are happy with. It is possible to print your page too, although some fiddling may be necessary to squeeze everything onto a sheet. Remember, you can draw in OneNote on your touchscreen devices, so you're not limited to text and pictures. You can sketch and doodle away to your heart's content. Now let's revisit the example we saw at the beginning of this video, recording a meeting. OneNote can allow you to do away with keeping notes in meetings by recording a complete audio transcript. Of course, you may not want a full transcript, but it's a very easy thing to do. Simply by going to the Insert menu and clicking Audio Recording, OneNote will start a recording in the page you were on and keep going until you tell it to stop. And a really useful feature, at any time in the meeting you can take notes. And OneNote will log the exact part of the recording where each note belongs. Later, by clicking here, you can return to the exact part of the meeting and get the specific details. You may find the back 15 seconds control useful to get to the exact spot. Of course, it's up to you whether you choose to keep the whole recording in OneNote or whether you use it to navigate through your notes and create an accurate summary, which of course you can also keep in OneNote. Now let's look at taking photos. It's hardly news that you can take photos with your smartphone, but we often limit it to snapshots of people and scenery. But if you think of OneNote, or more specifically Office Lens, you can put your phone to work to gather all sorts of useful information. In fact, anything that crosses your path can be added directly into your OneNote notebook simply by going click. It's really just a way of thinking. Whether it be explaining to the board why you need a new car, or noting a funny kids menu in a cafe, it can all be stored easily and permanently in your OneNote to be used later or passed on to someone else. Now let's look at creating a to-do list. This one's really simple. Just select the page you want your to-do list on, click the Home tab, give your page a title so you can find it, position your cursor, and click here. Then just enter your tasks. As you complete each task, you can mark it off. Right, now let's look at how you can share your OneNote information and how you can password protect it. We'll start with protecting it. Password protection in OneNote works at a section level. That means it locks an individual tab and all the pages within it. It does not lock a notebook, nor can you lock individual pages on their own. To password protect a section, you simply select the section, right-click, choose Password Protection, enter your password twice, it is case sensitive, and you're done. After a few minutes of inactivity by you, that section will be locked automatically. You can manually lock the section too by right-clicking the tab and selecting Password Protection and Lock Protected Sections. It's not the last word in security, but enough to keep most prying eyes out. Sharing takes place at a notebook level, so if you want to share, make sure you are happy to share everything in that notebook. On a Mac, you go to the File menu and you are given two sharing options: to share a View Only link or a View and Edit link. In each case, it refers to what the person you invite is able to do in your notebook. Clicking either item will save the link to your clipboard so you can post it into an email and send it. The person you share with does not need a OneNote account themselves. Finally, let's look at the search feature. This is one of the main advantages of using OneNote. It can search through all the information you have stored and quickly retrieve what you're looking for. It will retrieve anything from anywhere in your library. Type in here, and OneNote gives you a list of all the pages with that text in them. Then just click on the page you want. OneNote even does a pretty good job of finding words inside pictures, and on Windows computers it can even find spoken words in your recorded audio notes. So those are some of the many things OneNote can do. In short, it's a great tool for helping you get and to stay organized. Lastly, let's look at what you need to do to get OneNote going. Well, three things. You need a Microsoft account, a OneDrive plan, and the OneNote software. You don't need to run around the net setting them all up separately. Installing the OneNote software for the first time will ask you to set up a Microsoft account if you don't have one, and that account comes with a free 5 GB OneDrive plan. To get hold of OneNote, the easy to remember way is to Google OneNote download. Or on your computer, go to www.onenote.com. The site will detect your operating system and give you the correct download link to use. You will also want to install OneNote on all the mobile devices you are likely to use. So for those, go to your App Store and search for OneNote. Remember, you use your One Microsoft account to log into OneNote on all your devices, and your OneDrive plan will keep all your notes in the cloud so they stay in sync. You can upgrade your OneDrive plan to 50 GB for a small monthly fee, but if you plan to use OneDrive just for OneNote, you'll find the 5 GB plan plenty to start with. And if you'd like to learn more about how to use OneNote, remember to hop over to YouTube and search for OneNote tutorials. That's it. We hope you find OneNote as useful as we do. Thanks for watching.